Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glory to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Shami Iti Namane. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirbishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Reading and discussing Sri Caitanya Caritmarita HG Lila, Chapter 17, the Lord's pastimes in his youth. Text number 213.
গ্রামের ঠাকুর তুমি সব তোমার জন নিমাই বলাইয়া তারে করহ বর্জন
Sir, you are the ruler of this town. Whether Hindu or Muslim, everyone is under your protection. Therefore, please call Nimai Pandit and make him leave the town. Report. The word Thakur has two meanings. One meaning is God, or a godly person, and another meaning is Kshatriya. Here, the Pashandi Brahmins address the Kaji as Thakur, considering him the ruler of the town. There are different names by which to address the members of different castes. The Brahmanas are addressed as Maharaj. The Kshatriyas are Thakur. The Vaishyas are Sheth or Mahajan. And the Shudras are Chaudhuri. Yeah. This etiquette is still followed in northern India, where the Kshatriyas are addressed as Thakur Shahab. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Did you say it, please?
Thakur Sahib.
Okay. The Pashandis went so far as to request the magistrate or Kazi to have Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu expelled from the town because of his introducing Harinam Sankirtan. Fortunately, our Hare Krishna movement all over the world, especially in the civilized world of Europe and America, has become very popular. Generally, no one complains against us to have us removed from a city, although such an attempt was indeed made in Melbourne, Australia. The attempt failed. Thus, we are now introducing this Hare Krishna movement in great cities of the world like New York, London, Paris, Tokyo, Sydney, Melbourne, and Auckland. And by the grace of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, everything is going on nicely. People are happy to accept the principle of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, and the result is most satisfactory. Om Agyanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Shayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Shapandantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Before speaking, I need to ask the permission and blessings of all devotees, and particularly those who are senior by age and or by advancement in Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much. The word Thakur, sometimes people have a little deity and they call the deity Thakurji, right? Thakurji. And of course, we know Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in that sense, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one of our predecessor acharyas, in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So he was not only a magistrate, but also a great spiritual teacher, a godly person. So those two meanings were also there. So have you addressed like this in India, Vaishyas as Seti and Mahajan? You like that? Do you do that? Anybody?
Hare Krishna,
I
Prabhu.
do.
Yes.
Prabhu, like, I don't understand, like, here Prabhupada is saying like, Brahmanas are addressed as Maharaj.
Yes.
But, we are in Brahman caste from the beginning of our life. So I see my uncles and everybody's, they are priests. And
Yes.
all the people, all the other villagers, they call our house is a Thakur Bari. But they don't
Yeah,
call
Thakur
like,
Bari.
yeah, Thakur Bari, they don't call like Maharaj. But I
No,
don't
no, Thakur
understand.
Bari is because that's you have the godly person or God is there in your house. Yeah.
Yeah, so they call like that. As a Brahman caste, they call us like Thakur Bari people.
Okay. Maybe it's some differences. Sometimes they're also called Panditji, isn't it?
Yeah.
Panditji.
Panditji.
But also Maharaj. Sometimes the priests are called Maharaj also. Yeah. There's just different designations. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining that the Kaji is being addressed like this because he's the administrator in this town. So that's very interesting. Even though he was a Muslim, still he was called Thakur, not to be confused with God or necessarily a godly person. So who's complaining here? Who's complaining to Chand Kazi? The Pashandi Prabhupada calls them Pashandi Brahmins, right?
Yeah.
Pashandi Brahmins. So apparently not just anybody came to complain, but some leading citizens of the town. Oh, they came to complain to Chand Kazi. And it's an interesting point that we don't hear that the leading citizens of the town came to complain about Jagai Madai. Do we? Is there any evidence? No. But they complain about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Sankirtan movement. This is very interesting, right? And what do they want the Kazi to do? Yeah, come on.
They want him to, well, in this particular verse, they want him to
Take him out.
take Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to task.
Yes. Kick him out of the town. Kick him out of the town. Exile him. This is the so it's an interesting point that quite often people appreciate, or they think they appreciate what's sometimes called the Hindu religion because of its tolerance to heterodox or various views or various religions. But here we see the heads of the Brahmin community here in Navadvip, or at least many of them, they were not tolerant at all, but they wanted to kick out Lord Chaitanya from the town because he was engaging and popularizing the chanting of the holy names of God. And they said that those holy names, this Sankirtan movement or the chanting of the holy names, is not recommended in any scripture. So if you were confronted with such a argument, what would you say?
It is recommended in the scriptures.
Oh, really? Where is it recommended in the scripture? Where is that?
I don't specifically remember, but I think I.
Okay, but yes. So you correct, but then these are Hindu Brahmins, and they're very, they want to know in detail. So we should be able to refute them with logic, but also with Vedic conclusions as well. So I'm just wondering if there are those who might be able to help in refuting this contention by these Pashandi Brahmanas. Anybody out there? I think you just don't, you're just a little shy here.
Yeah, we can. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
So, the way we are taught, Kalisantana Upanishad, the 16 syllables is mentioned.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Yeah, come on.
I don't remember the full verse.
Okay.
With that.
What do you remember?
I mean, I know the English one.
Yeah, let's hear English. It's okay. It's okay.
In the says of Kali, the Lord's holy name. Sada, I getting, I think Sada, right? Sada means 16. Sada dosaka, sorry, yeah.
Yes.
16.
Yes.
Yes, I recommend it. And that's one of the things. And Srimad
Yes.
Bhagavatam.
Oh, let's go with that one first. Okay, good. Iti Sodashakam. That means Sodasha is 16. Iti Sodashakam Namnan. Kali Kalmasha Nashanam. Kali Kalmasha, the bad things of Kali Nashanam. This Kali Santarna Upanishad. Iti Shodashakam Namnan. Kali Kalmasha Nashanam. That destroys the bad things of Kali. What is that? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Very good. Yeah. And then next you were going to say something else. Krishna Kirtan Prabhu, yes. I'm encouraging you, yes.
Then in this, the 4 Yuga Dharmas.
Very good. How does that go?
Krite Dhyayata Vishnu.
Yes.
Sorry, in Treta, what is
Yes.
that? Yajna.
Krite Yadhyayato Vishnu. In Krite means Sati Yoga. The method of worship is meditation. Tretayam Yajyata Makai. And in Treta Yoga, it is Yagya. Then
Dwapare.
Yes.
Worship.
Dvapare Parichayaya. And then Dvapar Yoga, it's deity worship. And then Tat Kalau Hari Kirtanam. Yes. Very good. Yes. So these are the Vedic conclusions. And there's also, even if you, like every Hindu would accept the Bhagavad Gita. Are there any recommendations in Bhagavad Gita about this chanting process?
Yeah.
And what is that?
Lord Krishna says among I'm japa
of sacrifices, jagyanam japa jagyosmi. Of japa, of yagyas, I'm the chanting of the holy names, japa. Right. And also one very important one is satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha. Describing the Mahatmas, he says, the Mahatmas are always chanting my holy names, chanting my glory. Satatam, always. Kirtayanto mam, always chanting about me. And of course, we know the verse, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nastyeva, Gatiranyata. In this Kali Yuga, there's no other way, no other process but chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name. So all these references are there. So what do you make of it that these Hindus are claiming there is no reference? What does it mean?
Well, no one wants that change. And second thing is, what they find is competing.
Yes.
Their process will be earning money, livelihood will stop. So as you said, yeah, maybe they're tolerant. They may be tolerant, but when it comes to fear of losing their position,
losing their money and position, yeah.
So
exactly,
we feel challenged. From here, we can understand that establishing dharma can never be just easy anytime and in any age. The one Lord has to go through these things and establish finally. It's not
Good
very easy.
point. Good point. Krishna comes to establish the religious principles, but even here in his own town, people are trying to stop it. So it's not an that's it's a not unusual thing. It's very nice. Nice points. Nice points. So I would also say that that means that these particular Pashandi Brahmins aren't well versed in the scriptures. They might they might know something, but they don't know the scriptures broadly, which happens also today. Many people claim to be a variety of religions, Hindu, Christian, Muslim, etc. But most people don't really know what the teachings are. Actually, often we find that people they claim a certain affiliation, but they haven't read, for example, the Bhagavad Gita. So one of Srila Prabhupada's special important requests is for us to distribute the literature, the books, and also read them, so we can understand what the actual understanding of a dharma is. So apparently these Hindus here hadn't done that. Does that make sense? And they wanted to kick Lord Chaitanya out of the town, exile him. So I was reading a little bit about exile. This in the history of the world, different populations have been kicked out of places. For example, there's a long history in Great Britain of Jews being kicked out. Did you know this? We're talking about the 13th century to the 17th century. Apparently, they weren't people of the Jewish, from a Jewish background, either by ethnicity or religion, were forbidden to own land. So they took up the business of money lending, because according to Catholic rules at the time, Catholics couldn't lend money and charge interest, because that was thought to be one of the sins, usury. So then that task was left to the people of Jewish ethnicity or religion. So they were the money lenders. But what would happen is if they'd lend somebody money to buy something and they weren't able to pay, so either the Jewish people would have to foreclose on them because they were the bankers, or some big concern would come in and get money, borrow money from them, and then take the person's land. So at a certain point, all the Jewish people were exiled from Great Britain. In the Krishna consciousness movement, do we exile people? What do you think?
Sometimes from the movement, if they misrepresent, leaders misrepresent the movement, we ban them.
Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking that, there was, we were reading the Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita last week, and there was a new devotee by the name of Raphael. So he was staying at the temple, but, he wasn't very serious. He didn't want to get up early or attend classes. But his real thing was ganja, smoking ganja. So he still was staying there, but he was still coming around, but he refused to give up ganja. So at a particular point in time, Srila Prabhupada said, no, he can't stay anymore. No, not allowed. So he was not allowed to stay in the temple as a temple resident because of not following that regulation. So that's a little different than here. Lord Chaitanya is chanting the holy names, and they're trying to kick him out, but not doing anything like that. So just an interesting point that, generally speaking, in the Krishna consciousness movement, we don't generally speaking, we don't exile people, even if they're not following the regulative principles. They can still come to the temple and chant the holy names and take prasadam and stuff. So that's just an interesting point here. And Srila Prabhupada mentions that, fortunately, the Hare Krishna movement hasn't been exiled from different places. Some religious groups have been exiled from countries, in fact, but so far, not the Hare Krishna movement. By Lord Chaitanya's grace, we're able to preach practically everywhere. In the Middle Eastern countries, it's a little bit suppressed because it's like Dubai, Bahrain, those countries. Have you been? They're
Just,
not able to have. Go ahead. You have?
just the layover, we went via
Lay-
Dubai once.
Yes. But so they're not allowed to give public advertising for any gatherings, and they're not allowed to have a temple in some of those countries, not all, but in some of those countries. But they're allowed to have more private gatherings where many hundreds and thousands of people sometimes come, although they're not publicly advertised. So it's a little bit different there. So the Hindus, they want to kick out Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from his Dham, Navadvip Dham. So we'll see what Chandkazi's response is.
তবে আমি
Wait,
What? There's some other, what? Was there some other comment?
no, Kuwait and Jeddah, they don't allow prayers. They just don't.
Publicly, yes.
Yeah,
Publicly.
publicly. No,
Yes.
at home also they are very scared too.
Who's that?
At home also.
Oh, they're afraid to come in the home.
No, prayers and everything, having home program or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very scared. Sorry, I interrupted.
Okay.
তবে আমি প্রীতি বাক্য কহিল সবারে সবে ঘরে যাহ আমি নিষে দিব তারে
After hearing their complaints, in sweet words, I told them, please go back home. I shall certainly prohibit Nimai Pandit from continuing his Hare Krishna movement. Okay. You got that? Did you get this? Do you get this? So I remember a few weeks ago, I asked you a question. I've asked this question about, this is Chandkazi talking about, what happened after he got clawed by Lord Nrsingadev, right? And threatened by Lord Nrsingadev. But here he's saying, and Lord Nrsingadev said, you can't stop this Hare Krishna movement. And right. And so what is he saying here? I shall certainly prohibit Nimai Pandit from continuing his Hare Krishna movement. Isn't that after he just got threatened by Lord Nrsingadev the very next day, isn't it? So what do you make of that? What do you make of that?
Well, he's saying he was listening to them. His intention was to stop also, and he tried to stop as well. But he's sharing his experiences, what happened. Then, when he was attempting, the Lord Nrsingadev appeared.
Yes. But I'm saying this is after he was threatened by Lord Nrsingadev, and Lord Nrsingadev said, you can't stop this Hare Krishna movement. If you do, I'll kill you, your family, and all the meat eaters. Lord Nrsingadev threatened him. And this is after that. So he's saying, oh, please go back home and I'll prohibit Nimai Pandit from continuing his Hare Krishna movement. So how is that? After he said to Lord Nrsingadev that he'll agree to that, and Lord Nrsingadev threatened him, I'll kill everybody. Now he's saying, I'm going to stop him. So what do you make of that?
I didn't realize it's after that. I think
Yes, it's after.
Claims everything happened before. No. Mhm.
Yes, this is after the next day. He said the next day. Oh, he actually said that very day. He said that very day.
Hmm.
So what do you make of it?
Is he just saying
Political statements you have to make. Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah. Kavita.
I'm thinking, did he just say this to calm them down for them?
Yes. Yes, it could be very, very well that way. Uh, uh, that's how I take it. There's no purport here, so I can't say that for 100% sure. But there was another time when because he's a politician here. Politicians are especially good at speaking out of both sides of their mouths. So there was a time when Akrura was summoned by Kamsa. He was a employee. Kamsa was his boss. So Kamsa summoned him and he said, I need you to go to Vrindavan and bring Krishna and Balaram here so that we can kill him. He said that to Akrura. And then he said, well, what do you think? What do you think about that? And what did Akrura say?
Yes, that's a good idea.
Very nice, yes. Acha. So in a similar way, he's saying that's how I take it. Does that make sense? Okay, that's now.
ইন্দুর ঈশ্বর বড় যেই নারায়ণ সেই তুমি হও হেন লয় মোর মন.
I know that Narayan is the supreme god of the Hindus, and I think that you are the same Narayan. This I feel within my mind. So this is very interesting, because he just admitted to Lord Chaitanya that even though he was threatened by Lord Nrsingadev, and he promised, and Lord Nrsingadev said, if you try to stop the Hare Krishna movement, Mother Sankirtan, I'm gonna kill you and your family and all the mediators. And then he just admitted that he said, oh, I said, yeah, go home, I'll stop Nimai Pandit. But now he's changing the subject very quickly. You see that? That's very interesting. Very interesting.
এত শুনি মহাপ্রভু হাসিয়া হাসিয়া কহিতে লাগিলা কিছু কাজী রে ছুঁইয়া.
After hearing the Kaji speak so nicely, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touched him and smilingly spoke as follows. So you're touched by God. Okay. Yeah.
তোমার মুখে কৃষ্ণ নাম এ বড় বিচিত্র পাপ ক্ষয় গেল হইলা পরম পবিত্র.
The chanting of the holy name of Krishna from your mouth has performed a wonder. It has nullified the reactions of all your sinful activities. Now you have become supremely pure. See the word particularly is a Bengali word, but Bodhavich, is it? Vichitra, was it?
বিচিত্র.
Vichitra, Bodhavachitra, very wonderful, yeah. Bodhavachitra. So it's something like a miracle. It's a miracle. It's like a miracle. Yeah. What's the miracle? By chanting the holy names, it's is nullified the reactions of all your sinful activities. Purport. Confirming the potency of the Sankirtan movement, these words from the very mouth of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu express how people can be purified simply by chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna. The Kaji was a Muslim mlecha, or meat eater. But because he several times uttered the holy name of Lord Krishna, automatically the reactions of his sinful life were vanquished, and he was fully purified of all material contamination. We do not know why the Pashandis of the present day protest that we are deteriorating the Hindu religion by spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world and claiming all classes of men to the highest standard of Vaishnavism. But these rascals disagree with us so vehemently that some of them do not allow European and American Vaishnavas to enter the temples of Vishnu. Thinking religion to be meant for material benefit, these so-called Hindus have actually become vicious by worshiping the numerous forms of the demigods. In the next verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirms the Kazi's purification. So what names did Chand Kazi say of names of Krishna? Do you remember?
Narayan.
Narayan.
He said Narayan. We saw that. Yeah. Any others? You remember? It was, I have to think back to last week. You know, when he was describing
Hari,
the orderlies that
Gaura
came,
Hari.
Hari, Hari.
yeah, he said, go ahead. He said, you know, the Hindus sometimes are named Krishna Das, sometimes they're named Hari Das, and they always chant Hare Krishna and like that. So yeah, even though he was saying it in reference to other people, still he said it. So this principle of chanting the holy names as a miracle is the basis of the Hare Krishna movement. That by chanting, devote people all over the world, doesn't matter their ethnic, racial, religious background, chanting the holy names will bring them to the point of God consciousness, purity. Kirata Hunandra Pulinda Pulkasha Kabira Shumba Yavana Kasadaya. That's a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam that describes all these different kinds of people, races of people all over the world. And then it says, they all become Shujanti Tasmad Prabhavishnave Nama. They all become purified by the touch of Krishna and his devotees, especially the holy name. So this is the principle of the Krishna consciousness movement. And even though Chand Kazi was a meat-eater, he because he didn't chant offensively, his the chanting of the holy names completely purified him. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. What do you think?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in conversation with actually Haridas Thakur in conversation with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says the Nama Bhasa or Sanketya Nama Bhasa. So we can understand that he did his intention was not to chant, but he chanted as Nama Bhasa. Still it is purifying.
Yes. It gives liberation. Right. So Haridas Thakur was commenting that even Nama Bhas, just as in the morning time, even before the sun rises on the horizon, there's the light comes, isn't it? There's a certain time when the sun hasn't yet come up, but still it's light outside. So he compared that to the Namabas stage, or the beginning stage of chanting the holy names without chanting offensively. So just like that, he said the chanting of the holy names Namabas stage is sufficient to liberation. So there was another Brahmin there who was listening, and he said, "Oh, if that's true, your nose should. If that's true, may my nose fall off from leprosy." And actually, it did, like that. So it is true, according to the conclusions of Haridas Thakur and Yamaraj. Also, he said the same thing to his attendants, the Jamadutas. So there's a picture, you've seen this picture of a man standing up with the head of a cow or a bull and a what is that, axe in his hand. Have you seen this? And then on down below there's a man with the an animal, must be a cow, with the head of a man there, about to get his head chopped off. You've seen that picture?
Yes.
Actually, Srila Prabhupada didn't like when they put that picture on the out on the front covers of a magazine. He didn't like that. He did, as far as I know, nobody asked him the details of that, but of why he didn't like it. But it may be here, as we see, even the meat eaters, if they chant the holy name, they become purified. You follow?
This
Puri,
picture is all, sorry.
that's
Yeah. Go ahead. Text 218. Oh, you're going to say something, Pranath Prabhu?
The picture is also there in this newest editions of the Bhagavad Gita, right?
Yes.
That's the
I
picture?
suppose. Yes. So my understanding is that it was put on the front of one magazine or one literature that Srila Prabhupada didn't like that, being the lead impression.
Right. Yeah. I think that's what I was thinking. You don't
So
want
that's
to.
my understanding of it. Although I don't believe at the time devotees got a detailed understanding of it. Perhaps somebody did. I didn't. I haven't been able to find anything. But the point being that our as in the case with Chankazi, our first interest is to get people to chant the holy names, and other things follow, if that makes sense. Yes. Text 218.
হরি কৃষ্ণ নারায়ণ লইলে তিন নাম বড় ভাগ্যবান তুমি বড় পুণ্যবান
Because you have chanted 3 holy names of the Lord, Hari, Krishna, and Narayan, you are undoubtedly the most fortunate and pious. Purport. Here, the Supreme Lord, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, confirms, I don't know why there's a hyphen there, confirms that anyone who chants the holy names, Hari, Krishna, and Narayan, without offense, is certainly extremely fortunate. And whether Indian or non-Indian, Hindu or non-Hindu, he immediately comes to the level of the most highest personality. We therefore do not care about the statements of Pashandis who protest against our movements making the members of other cities or countries into Vaishnavas. We have to follow in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, executing our mission peacefully, or if necessary, kicking the heads of such protesters. Okay. Now, some of you might be familiar. There's a story about Ramanujacharya, who Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur accepted as being an avatar of Lakshman Nityananda Prabhu, that his guru gave him a mantra. Have you heard this? And he told him to chant it privately. Then, but he told Ramanujacharya that chanting this mantra will free you from the cycle of birth and death. So even though he was told to chant it privately, to not give it to others, Ramanujacharya chanted it publicly and encouraged other people to chant it publicly. He gave it out freely. And when he was chastised by his guru, he explained the reason, because if it's actually so potent that it can deliver people from the cycle of birth and death, then I want everybody to hear it. So when his guru was heard that explanation, he accepted Ramanujacharya as his more advanced than he. Have you heard this? It's some followers in the Ramanuja Sampradaya don't accept that, but many do. There's a book that's printed through ISKCON that supports that version, but it's consistent with the intention and the mood of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Deen heen jatta chilo harinam udharilo. Brajesh Govinda Prabhu, I see your hand up.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, you asked this like why the hyphen in the confirm? Because of thing, this is something the like real more power they added for this hyphen, because sometimes we can say some people get out, like might be very rapidly. If I say get out, I mean like
Okay.
this mood power like this. That's why I'm sorry. Thank you.
Okay, good. I had no idea. That's certainly a good possibility. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Confirms. Hare Krishna Narayan. Okay. Text 219.
এত শুনি কাজীর দুই চক্ষে পড়ে পানি, প্রভুর চরণ ছুঁই বলে প্রিয় বাণী।
After the Kaji heard this, tears flowed down from his eyes. He immediately touched the lotus feet of the Lord and spoke the following words. So he's moved by the Lord's kindness and by his making some progress, free himself from sinful reactions, and as a result, tears are flowing from his eyes. Yeah. Text 220.
তোমার প্রসাদে মোর ঘুচিল কুমতি, এই কৃপা করো যেন তোমাতে রহু ভক্তি।
Only by your mercy have my bad intentions vanished. Kindly favor me so that my devotion may always be fixed upon you. So this is he's made some pretty strong advancement here. He's talking about his devotion only by your mercy. And he is admitting he had bad intentions. Yes, they were bad intentions, smashing the drums, trying to stop Sankirtan. And in spite of that, Lord Chaitanya, being the Mahavadanyaya avatar, has showered his mercy upon him. And he's so thankful. So we're in a similar position like this. We have so many bad intentions, but Lord Chaitanya is kind. He's given us chanting of the holy names and association of devotees. Yeah. Text 221.
প্রভু কহে এক দান মাগিয়ে তোমায়, সংকীর্তন বাদ জইছে নহে নদিয়ায়।
The Lord said, I wish to beg you for one favor in charity. You must pledge that the Sankirtan movement will not be checked, at least in the district of Nadia.
কাজী কহে মোর বংশে যত উপজীবে, তাহাকে তালাক দিব, কীর্তন না বাঁধিবে।
The Kaji said, to as many descendants as take birth in my dynasty in the future, I give this grave admonition. No one should check the Sankirtan movement. Purport. As a result of this grave injunction by the Kaji, even at present, the descendants of the Kaji's family do not oppose the Sankirtan movement under any circumstances. Even during the great Hindu-Muslim riots in neighboring places, the descendants of the Kaji honestly preserved the assurance given by their forefather. Okay, very nice. Yes. So the Kaji's place is about a kilometer from Mayapur, the Yoga Pit Mayapur in Simantadweep, and his descendants are still living there. And according to this, they're still upholding the Kazi's admonition. Really nice.
শুনি প্রভু হরি বলি উঠিলা আপনি, উঠিল বৈষ্ণব সব করি হরিধ্বনি।
Hearing this, the Lord got up chanting Hari Hari. Following him, all the other Vaishnavas also got up chanting the vibration of the holy name.
কীর্তন করিতে প্রভু করিলা গমন, সঙ্গে চলি আইসে কাজী উল্লসিত মন।
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went back to perform kirtan, and the Kazi, his mind jubilant, went with him. So the Kazi, he joined the kirtan, right? So Lord Chaitanya was performing kirtan for how long was it going on for? So before this, at least from our position, all night. But also it's said that it was going on for a day of Brahma, the kirtan. So now he's going back to do some more kirtan. It's the quality of spiritual life, spiritual activities is they're ever fresh. They don't become hackneyed if one actually is engaged appropriately, purely in the service of Krishna. It gives one more energy, more enthusiasm, then it doesn't take it away. Ordinary material activities become boring after a short time. So you have to change them from one thing to the next, but different. So Lord Chaitanya, after performing Sankirtan, at least all night, but also according to Chaitanya Bhagavat, for a day of Brahma, because the time was adjusted, because he's the controller of time. Then after that, he did some more kirtan.
কাজিরে বিদায় দিল শচীর নন্দন, নাচিতে নাচিতে আইলা আপন ভবন।
The Lord asked the Kaji to go back home. Then the son of Mother Sachi came back to his own home, dancing and dancing.
এই মতে কাজিরে প্রভু করিলা প্রসাদ, ইহা যেই শুনে তার ইহা যেই শুনে তার খণ্ডে অপরাধ।
This is the incident concerning the Kaji and the Lord's mercy upon him. Anyone who hears this is also freed from all offenses. Okay, I wanted to get to that point. So this is we've been spending probably more than a month on this incident of the Sankirtan going to Chankazi's house, Chankazi's discussion with Lord Chaitanya, and then now the Chankazi is freed from his sinful reactions and joining the Kirtan of Lord Chaitanya. And since we have heard this, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has indicated that now we are all become freed from our offenses. Wow, Hare Krishna. So I don't want to go any further than this today. We'll get stopped at another topic, but other observations, reflections, questions, corrections, comments at this point. No, nothing? Okay.
I have
Yes.
yeah. We always contemplate, right, how we can share Krishna consciousness. This is a great great lesson how Lord himself handled, because ultimately it's for him, how he handled the situation. And he, by having conversation, looks like on Krishna consciousness, it has to be a bona fide representation. If they're not bona fide, then there'll be quarrel and fight and arguments will happen. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed how this world can be transformed, even if they are not belong to Hindu practices. Simply having the dialogues properly, and using logic also. He explained, he asked Kaji, why cow and bulls are being slaughtered, because cow is mother. He didn't say we worship cows or we worship this, but he gave logical explanation. Cow milk you drink, and bulls help you in producing grains. That's a bull father. So how can somebody can kill one's own father and mother? Like logical argument he put forward. Of course, his mercy was also there. And then again, the potency of holy name was glorified here simply by chanting the Lord's holy name once or few times. Kaji was liberated. So I think
Excellent points, Krishna Kirtan Prabhu. Excellent points. Thank you. Yes. This is, so for me, it's a wonderful pastime. Of the pastimes in Navadvip. Unfortunately, or whatever, the Jagai Madai pastime is there, but it's not described in detail or very much in the Caitanya Caritmarita. It's more in the Caitanya Bhagavat, but this pastime is explained so nicely in Caitanya Caritmarita. And we also do this as we've produced this as a play a few times for Gaur Purnima. Great to meditate on how Lord Chaitanya did this, enacted this pastime to deliver the Chandkazi and Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much for participating in this Sankirtan of Lord Chaitanya to the Chandkazi's house, and I appreciate very much.
thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindhyaeva cha patitanam Vaishnavebhyo.
Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
I did send to some of you an article by a person who was a Muslim who was kind of a bit critical of this pastime, and I don't know if some of you read that, but I would like to get input and any kind of ideas that you might have, because it would be nice for us to write a rebuttal to that article. So if you have interest in that, just let me know. It's it's a lengthy article, but I think there are quite a few points that can be made that I'm not sure it's accurate in its pronouncements in various ways. That article was published in a journal called the Journal of Vaishnav Studies. I think it's a digital journal. I don't think it's actually printed. Maybe it's printed. I don't know. But anyway, so if somebody would like to participate in that, we might get have some kind of meeting and discuss it at some point. If you'd like, let me know. Thank you.
I was just thinking about that, Prabhu. A quick comment on those lines. In today's verses, we read that Chandkazi, said that at least in his dynasties to come, there won't be any admonition of the Sankirtan movement, right?
Yes.
Is there anything to that effect? I mean, I read that article you sent, but I don't remember the whole thing.
Well, one of the points, now we're kind of going off. One of the points in the article was the person tended to discount the reality of Chandkazi for a variety of reasons. One being that he didn't like the name Chandkazi. It's kind of a generic name. He didn't think it was, and he didn't seem that there was historical evidence. But the fact that his place is still there, his descendants are still there, this is certainly a point that should be brought up to counter the idea that he called him a paper tiger, I think, in the article. So, there are a variety of arguments that could be made, and that might be one of them in countering those. This is a person who's a Muslim scholar, so his reaction to Lord Chaitanya's teachings and his conversation with the Qazi, we can take as probably emblematic of how many Muslims might react, and how to deal with that we should consider. Yeah.
And I think he wrote for his own jurisdiction. He did not represent the whole Muslim. At least whatever authority area he was authorized, that rule applies to that area, isn't it? It won't apply to the whole world. Of course, whole world can take lesson inspiration from it. But he did not represent the complete Muslim community. He, as authority Qazi of Bengal area, so he had.
Yes. These are good points. All good points, and they could be assembled and discussed, or put in a form that might be helpful. Haribol. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindhyaeva cha patitanam pavani. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you,
Hare
Vishnu.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Good night, everyone.